Hey everyone, and welcome back to another Helium Hub video. In this video, I'm going to be giving you all a quick presentation on why you might be experiencing low rewards and a few fixes that you can implement and hopefully get better rewards. So without further ado, let's get right into the video. So the first reason that I have that most people are not optimized, not getting as much rewards as they want to, getting low rewards, that's because they have the wrong antenna and they don't understand how antennas work and what DBI they should be using. So let's take, for example, if we look down here, DBIs. So this is a 9 dBi antenna, this is a 7 dBi antenna, this is a 5 dBi antenna, and this is a 2 dBi antenna. So they are going to project their radio waves in a different shape depending on what dBi antenna you have. So if you were this person right here and you were using a 9 dBi antenna, you're only going to connect to maybe one person, because if you see that cone that it shoots out, it's at, I think, 25 degrees. Yep, 25 degrees, 25-degree angle, and you're not going to hit anyone. So it would actually be better to use a 2 dBi antenna. That way you can hit 1, 2, 3, 4. You're getting 3 more witnesses compared to 1 up top. So that's one of the main issues that I see is people think that a higher dBi antenna means more witnesses, more rewards, more this, more that, and it doesn't. And sometimes a lower dBi antenna, and a lot of times a lower dBi antenna can even outperform a higher dBi antenna, because it just depends on the situation you're in. Like for example, this one you would outperform this one, even though this is a higher dBi antenna, and this one probably costs a little bit more too, that antenna, and it's going to be bigger. So just keep that in mind. I also have a Rockland 5.8 dBi indoor antenna right here. If you guys are stuck with placing an indoor antenna and you can't get an outdoor antenna, on your roof or something like that, this is a great little in-between miner. It's a little bit bigger. It's probably about, I'd say, 1.5 to 2 feet tall, and it increased my witnesses from my stock 4 dBi antenna from, I'd say, 4 to 8. So it doubled my witnesses that I had, because for one of my builds I am stuck in a building. I can't put outdoor build up, and so I'm just going to use this guy, and it's a better indoor antenna than the one that normally comes stock on racks, synchro bits, and even Bobcats. Bobcats have a 4.0 dBi antenna, and it's actually really good, but this one was just a little bit better, a little bit bigger. And pro tip, guys, even if you live in the house and you can't put a build outdoor, you can't get the antenna outdoors, you can still use an outdoor antenna indoors. So a lot of people, what they do is they put an outdoor antenna up in the attic, and that'll be a lot better than the antenna that comes with stock with your miner. These antennas that we're talking about that go in the attic and go on building, they're 3.5 feet tall, so they're 10, 20 times the size of the antennas that you're going to have come with your miner. So just keep that in mind. Bigger antennas, higher antennas, DBIs don't always mean more rewards, more witnesses, but just keep in mind that you can place an outdoor antenna indoors. If you are stuck indoors and you can't put an outdoor antenna, I would look at getting something like what I have right here, an indoor specific mining antenna. So that's the first reason, is they have the wrong antenna and they're just not reaching these people that they could potentially be reaching. So that's the first reason. Second reason I'd say is you have a bad transmit scale, and that has to do with how many miners are currently in your hex. So and one thing I do want to hit on is witnesses don't mean everything. People think, oh, I want to get the most witness possible. I want to get the most witnesses possible to get the most rewards. It sounds correct, but let's take a look at an example I pulled up here. This is one of my miners, Big Sable Possum, and it does pretty well for itself. It's mined, $430 this month, which is 10.722 coins. With 58 witnesses, and its 7-day average beacons is 312. So that's pretty standard for this miner. But if we look down here, let's head down to Miami, where this guy has 177 witnesses. He has more than 3 times the amount of witnesses as I do. So you would think he would have 3 times as much rewards as I do, right?
Psych!
Well, you can see right here, he barely has me beat with 11.3 coins, which is excellent. Good for him. He does have a little bit lower transmit scale. So, but even if this was at 12, 13 coins, it should be at 20, 30 coins if he has me beat by 3 times as many witnesses. So this means that I'm connecting to miners that have a better transmit scale. If you're connecting to other miners with terrible transmit scales and they're already really saturated, this guy, if we look right here, he might be connecting to some of these 5 right here, or I think there was one with even 6 right here. He might be connecting to all 6 of them. But if I connect to one miner that is a 1 transmit scale instead of 6 miners that have 0.1 transmit scales, I'll get just the same amount of coins. So, all of my witnesses are going to be higher transmit scales and producing coins, and I'll get a share of those coins. But as you see right here, this guy has 8 in a hex right here. If he connects to even all 8 of those people, if one person was there with a 1 transmit scale, he would just get just as much. So if we look down here, this is the rewards. This is how often I get rewarded. And as you can see, I get rewarded, every hour, every couple hours. I tried to pull his up and I couldn't even, it didn't even load. I tried to pull it up for half an hour on a couple different devices. And I think he just gets so many little rewards so fast that it didn't even load. So just keep that in mind. Think about hosting. If you are, let's say you're in a hex and you're getting 100%, but you're only getting 2 coins. Okay, so you're getting 100% of 2 coins. Well, if you put it in a location and you hosted it, and even if you referred out and you gave away 25% of your profit, 75% of 10 coins per month is more than 100% of 3 coins. So if you're only mining 3 coins in a bad setup and you have a family members that have an awesome setup, we'll pay them 25%, give them the 2.5 coins so you can make the 7.5 coins. So just something to keep in mind. I have done that. I have my own places that I could put up, but I'm going to forego that just because I have other family members that even if I give them 25%, I'm still making more than what I normally would be making at the place that I even own. So let's go on to the next reason, and that is you have a bad setup and or it's not optimized. So height, elevation, line of sight, and location are pretty much the biggest players in determining how much rewards you're going to get and how well your miner is going to do. So for the first example, I just want to show you this photo up top right here. And this is a photo from Hotspot RF, which is a free simulation. I think you get 10 free simulations. I'll leave a link down in the description. But it pretty much can show, given your location, topography, setup, blah, 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 how many miners will you connect to. So this is just one that I got off the internet, and I'm pretty sure, I don't know where this is, but I'm pretty sure, San Francisco Bay, perfect. So they're in San Francisco, and as you know, the topography there is very hilly. So if we take a look at right here where the miner's placed, it's not reaching at all behind it. If you see all this blue, purple, that's where the radio waves are going to reach. So if you look behind it, it's probably on a hill and slopes downward, and so he's not going to connect to these miners because there's a big freaking hill in the way, pardon my language, but he's not going to connect to them. So he's right there, and he's pretty much beaming through the entire city. So I haven't checked how much this one's making, but I'm guessing it's making a lot, just because this is a huge area that is covered and all these miners that he's connecting to. And if you see right here why this is so dark blue, that's because it's water, and radio waves don't have a problem going across water because there's no obstruction. It's flat. You can just right away. So radio waves travel with ease around water, especially if this is up, on a higher elevated, and here's the water down here, and it needs to, it's going to hit all those miners. So I just wanted to show you guys that to show how much location matters. If let's just say you were right here and you were getting a bad transmit scale and you own that spot. and you're making 3 coins a day. Well, if your family member lives up here, I would start talking to him and try to refer that out, because I guarantee you this guy's making at least 15 coins a month. So just keep that in mind. Height, elevation, line of sight, and location all play the biggest factors in determining how well your miner is going to do. And you don't have to have a crazy build. You don't have to have a 28-foot mast like I do. You don't have to have any of that. You could have a simple build. It's just something like this. This is an antenna with a couple U-bolts strapped to the fascia of a wooden house. That's it. And the miner's inside. It has a LMR cable running to it. And I guarantee you that will be 10 times better than, let's say, if you put a miner on the shelf right here. If you put a miner on the shelf right here, the radio waves are going to bounce off these 2 walls, and it's just going to eat your DBI, and you won't be able to get your radio waves across. You won't be able to witness a whole lot. Versus if you just, put it on the outside somehow, or found a family member that was fine with it, or found a friend, boom, you're going to be making a lot more, and you'll be happy that you did that. So you guys also need to look out for things like structures like metal roof, concrete buildings, brick walls. They're all going to block your signal. So if you know you have a metal roof on your house, chances are you probably shouldn't get a Bobcat miner, you probably shouldn't get any miner, without having a spot picked out first. You shouldn't buy the miner and then wonder, oh, well, where should I put it? You should have everything sorted out, ready to go, in order, so that when you do get your miner, you can hit the ground running. That is one big mistake that I did. I ordered all my miners, and then once they got here, I was like, okay, now I need a mast. I need a grounding wire. I need antennas. I need cables. And, it took me a while, and it's a learning curve to get all that stuff. So I would definitely be ready when your miner is coming. So, guys, I would just picture if I was a miner beaming out radio waves and I was right here in this corner, what would be some of the problems that you might see? Visualize. If I was beaming out, you're going to run into these 2 brick walls, these 2 cement walls, and it's going to eat up a lot of your DBI. So just keep that in mind. And like I said, if you guys want, I'll leave a link down in the description, so you guys can check out Hotspot RF, and I think they have 10 free simulations that you can use, and you can do what I did up here with this photo. So, all right, and on to the next one, and that is your miner is relayed. This is a huge, very common issue, and I already made a video on it, and I will link that into the description below. But pretty much your miner is, your internet, your router is blocking your miner from communicating with other miners, and you pretty much are going to be dead in the water. Won't be earning a whole lot of rewards. Like I said, already made a video, link in the description. And on to the last reason, and that's just because the network is growing, y'all. And there's some pros and cons to this. Some cons: you're going to be getting less coins because you're going to get less chunk of the pie, less piece of the pie, less slice of the pie, however you say that. But when I started, this was at 66,000 miners, and now we're over 455,000. So you're going to continuously be getting a smaller piece of the pie. However, the bonuses to that is bigger networks, or as the network gets bigger, offers more opportunities for companies such as Dish, or other opportunities for companies like Apple or Petco, or that dog collar chip that is an easy example to explain helium. If my dog ventures on over here, look at how green this is. The network is growing, it's expanding as this United States, as the world gets covered in miners. That's going to create a unique opportunity for companies to invest in helium and use the network. And that, in my opinion, is going to push the price up. I mean, let's see what happened when Dish announced that they were partnering with Helium. And that's one company, and Dish is, kind of not even the biggest, baddest company anymore, and it still shot the price up. So as more companies pile on to Helium and start actually using the network, because keep in mind, gal, no one's really using the network right now for anything. It's just all speculation. We're still, we're not getting rewards for data transfers. We're not getting rewards for people actually using our antennas. We're just getting rewards right now for having it up. And as the helium life cycle goes on, as helium gets older, we will start seeing, it's in the protocol actually, of for miners to get more rewards based on their data transfers rather than how many witnesses and things like that. So as we move forward, the way we get rewarded is going to change, the price is going to change, the amount of helium miners is going to change. It's going to be very fluid. And more companies, I do believe, will start utilizing and using the Helium network, which I overall think is fantastic. And that's what Helium wants. And so overall, I'm still very bullish on Helium. I still have 8 miners up, mining 1,000, 1,500 every month. Perfect. Huge ROI. You know, I made almost all of my money back in 3.5 months, and I've invested 6 grand into it. So anything after this is just passive profit. So that is it. That's all I got for you guys. Sorry, this video ran a little bit longer than I was expecting, but I really appreciate everyone that watches these videos. We are already past 500 subscribers, so you guys have my appreciation. Thank you guys so much. If you guys have any questions or comments that I did not touch on, make sure to just leave it in the comments below, and I'll be sure to get to it. I almost respond to every single question that I get. So if you guys have any questions, let me know. If you guys have any thoughts on the video, let me know. Please drop a like on the video. It really helps. I appreciate it. And thank you guys for tuning in, and I'll see you on the next Helium Hub video. Take care.